And let me tell you, this quite literally broke my heart. Hi there, I'm Gabby, and this is my first vlog. Admittedly, that was a bit awkward to do. I don't really know how to talk in front of a camera. Go figure. But yeah, this is my first vlog. I've always wanted to start vlogging. I just never committed to it. But here we are. One of the reasons why I want to start vlogging now is to track my fitness goals and journey. I've been active on and off, from soccer to lifting weights to training for a 5K, 10K, but there's always something that just stops me from either life events, there's an injury, or just mental health, and where I just do not want to do anything for months, making it harder to even start back up again, which is my biggest fight right now. However, this time it's gonna change because I have you guys to motivate me. That sounds weird to say since I don't even know who's gonna watch this. Anyway, I am hoping vlogging is to keep me from quitting for whatever reason. Sure, there's gonna be slow times just because things happen. I know that is inevitable. But I am hoping vlogging will motivate me just a bit more. Another reason to start vlogging now is to kind of have it as a journal, which I guess that's what vlogging is in a way. I like the idea of looking back 10 years from now and seeing where I was in 2026. So honestly, whether it's one person watching or 100 people, at least, I'm exposing myself and living life and gonna see where I am 5-10 years in the future. We'll see how that goes. If it's good, bad, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of it being like a journal, so I can kind of look at what my life was and who I was as of 2026 when I rewatch it 10 years from now. And, whoever's watching can follow along, or, I don't know, have me on in the background while you're cleaning. I don't know. Full disclaimer, I started vlogging back in December 2025, but it was a hassle with storage and iPhone and stuff like that. So rather than go through that headache, I decided to go back to using my GoPro Hero 4, which I haven't used since 2014, 2015. Yeah, so the video quality isn't the greatest, and the audio is terrible. So as of now, while I'm using my GoPro, I will be popping in and narrating some parts rather than it being, audio footage, because it sounds terrible. Trust me. There's gonna be music, me popping in, telling you what my thoughts are while editing this, because this took forever, longer than I expected. So anyway, enough with the long intro. Here is my vlog as of January 2026. First things first, these are my children, Bunky and Biscuit. I love them so much and will do anything for them, and they care for me whenever they feel like it. making mini pizzas for dinner. During this first week and a bit of next week, you'll see me eating whatever I want. The plan was not to worry about calorie intake in the beginning. I wanted to focus more on the routine of going to the gym and exercising before worrying about my macros. Alright, first gym session. I didn't really have a real fitness goal that I wanted to achieve other than just wanting to be active and, feel strong. So I started with what I knew, which was running and weightlifting. I ran for about 30 minutes on the treadmill. Felt pretty good and tired, obviously, but it helped with lifting right after. I did some bench presses, lateral pull downs, bicep curls, and finished off with some skull crushers. And I aimed for low reps, high volume. Please don't judge me on my form. I'm a noob. Morning rituals is Bisque drinking from the sink, even though he has a full water fountain, and then Monkey just wants some back rubs. Alright, call me lame, call me old, but I enjoy socks, especially when they have designs. I don't really care for plain white socks. I know people won't see them, but I know I do, and I enjoy them. At work, I sit at the desk majority of the day, staring at a screen. I shouldn't be drinking that much energy drinks, but here we are. As my cope, I only drink 1 can a day during the work week. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. I decided to stop by my mom's to bring her some flowers, and of course, she wasn't home. So I was gonna show what we got for dinner, but my camera died. That is also an issue that I go through when using the GoPro. Battery doesn't last that long, and the only case that I had for it was a waterproof case, which means that I cannot record and charge the camera at the same time. First vlog problems, huh? This pretty girl is my girlfriend Sandy. She's amazing and I love her. Day 2, I finished my run going between 1.7 and 1.8 miles to watch this 2.15, but obviously being on a treadmill, it's inaccurate. I did do a lower body workout with the wrong shoes, of course, so I was pretty unstable while doing squats. But I also did lunges, calf raises. I didn't record because there were another person there, and I am just uncomfortable recording while people are there around me. Yeah, that was way too much pasta and I didn't realize until I had heated it up. And I don't remember if I actually ate the whole plate or if I saved some for later. So I'm just gonna say that I didn't eat it all just so no one judges me too harshly. And then it also makes me feel better. Alright, comment down below what you rate this transition on a scale of 10 as I show off my dinner. I also live stream playing video games that I like, while also being judged by my #1 fan. know if anyone else's cat does this, but mine tend to play in the bathtub. They don't like baths like most cats, and they know what the tub is, but for some odd reason, they like to sit and play in there. Even right after I get out the shower, they're in there playing. It's so strange. One thing about having a good relationship is to make sure your taste in food correlates with each other. We got some Japanese type food. Sandy loves to eat fish, and besides some tuna, I don't eat it at all. But I do love kimchi. So while she got a salmon bowl, I got myself a kimchi bulgogi bowl, and man, it was so good. It's not often, but I got to be passenger princess this time. We got some coffee, drove around, toured some apartments for the day, which surprisingly is exhausting. Apartment hunting is not fun at all, especially when you know you can't afford it. But we always make it a good time. Another thing to know about us is that if we see a claw machine with good prizes, we are going to stop and give it a try. I'm pretty sure I've only won one prize once in my life. Sandy has already won me 2 prizes from a claw machine since we've been together, so I let her handle the claw machine when we come across. Unfortunately, we didn't win anything this time, since the claw itself was pretty bad, but what can you expect from it being in a Walmart? she still did great in my book. Sandy took me out on a little date at an Italian restaurant. Italian food is my favorite. It had the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The booths represented sitting in a gondola, which was really cool. Food was amazing and well worth. Overall, it was an amazing date. Got ourselves a nice chai latte and some acai bowls before we went to Walmart to get an oil change. And since we were there, we went grocery shopping. Rather than staying inside the rest of the day, we decided to go to IKEA to look at furniture we can't afford. We just fantasize our future house together whenever that may be. I did agree with Sandy that I would let her decorate our place, but that I would like a little bit of a say of what we put on our apartment or house. Who knows if that would happen? Only time will tell. So we're at another claw machine, trying to get this squishy avocado. And let me tell you, this quite literally broke my heart. Just watch. Just watch. The most devastating way to lose. But you know what? I'm so proud of her. This week was just not our week at claw machines. On to the next. Started off the week with a quick workout sesh. I had some remaining vacation days from last year, so I used one to start the week off. Did a 15-minute run with an upper body workout. Went to the mall to exchange some jeans. The dressing room was really nice, so you know I had to model for you. Met my sister and my mom, and we went to TJ Maxx. Brought some bagels back to my mom's place to finally have a late breakfast. I was starving. Honestly, week 2 wasn't that exciting. Just went through work like usual. Only worked out once this week because I was feeling a cold coming. This week was just not the week.
I feel the worst when I'm silent at home and I'm sitting lonely, brother. That's the story of my life. Think it was already written for me. It used to feel like an imprisonment. Many times.
However, I did decide that I wanted to do calisthenics, so a lot more body weight exercises. I started off with some simple planks, pike holds, and squats. I'm also going to start practicing a frog stance a handstand, and some L-sits. So if you have any suggestions, some tips, please comment down below. I would appreciate it. Finally, the weekend. I know I had a short week this week, but for some reason they always feel the longest. Picked up some food for Sandy and I as we hung out with Tommy and Dexter. As always, we got great food. I got a bulgogi bowl, and Sadie got some sushi rolls. I was also watching ALGS. We decided to try out this place called Portillo's. Yeah. Sandy heard it was a good place for hot dogs, which now that I think about it, there really is no other place that sells hot dogs from my knowledge. Only place I can think of are baseball games and Five Guys, which should not even be considered a hot dog. It was BYOB, or bring your own bucket, at Cinemark that weekend, so we decided to take advantage. By advantage, I mean we really just brought a standard size bowl to the theater to fill up. But we did see a SpongeBob treasure chest that they were practically giving away. It was only $5, and to our shock, it was originally priced for $50, which is insane. Week 3 was a bit rough for me. The beginning was fine. I used my last 2 vacation days this week, which was great. Towards the end of the week, going into the following, I was not in a good place. I saw this protein milkshake thing at the gas station. Never seen the brand and was curious about it. Was kind of scared it was going to taste like aluminum, but surprisingly it tasted like it said it was. A strawberry milkshake. Not really sure if I would get it again though. I was finally able to start editing the vlog. I hadn't been using any editing software in a while. The last one I used was Premiere Pro, and since I didn't really want to pay a lot of money, I got a free one. So I had some learning to do. Watching this reminds me that I really need to buy another one of these ribbon dangly thingies. The cats do not like sharing. Good thing is that they don't actually fight each other. Another reason is that if I have two, I can be one of those gymnasts who do those little ribbon performances. Which sounds fun. On one of my days off, I had a 3-hour doctor's appointment. After that, I met my mom and stepdad for breakfast/lunch. I had some good brisket tacos along with rice and beans. This was the day before the ice storm that happened, so might as well eat out somewhere. If I had money and space, I would definitely get this Mac computer. It would be nice to have my PC I use for gaming and live streaming and another to do editing and other stuff. Maybe someday. got a well-needed haircut. Well, it wasn't really needed, but I do feel better after. Just took about 2 inches off, redid the layers. Not too bad. Did the hair flipping thing for a while, so consider yourselves lucky I didn't show the full 3 minutes of this. Got breakfast the next day with Sandy before she went off to work, and sadly we weren't able to be together during the ice storm. So after this we wouldn't see each other for a full week, which is sad, saying it again. This is also the beginning of the rough part of the week I mentioned earlier. Towards the end of the day is when I started feeling a bit sadness. After some editing, I started streaming in hopes to bring my mood up. since Bisque likes to think he's an outside cat, I let him test out the ice, and well, he didn't last that long out there. And here is where the day ended for me, or where I stopped recording for the day and the next day. I felt pretty sad for no reason at all, which is the most frustrating thing ever. Like, there wasn't any particular reason. It's just, maybe it was because I was alone. It was cold, which I do not like. I don't know, in my head too much. But I was feeling sad. I didn't record, didn't video edit, and I definitely didn't exercise like the plan was. All I really wanted to do was rot in bed and do absolutely nothing. But Biscuit and Bunks, they need me. They need me to feed them and get out of bed. They quite literally yell at me to get out of bed, which, good thing for me, but annoying at the time. After a couple of days of not recording, I got back to it and started getting up to get things done. Slowly, but I try my best to get out of my funk. Although there was still ice everywhere, I took the opportunity to get a couple hours of work, so I lazily got dressed and head out. Honestly, this helped me get out of my head. Although not entirely sunny, I was able to go for a little walk and got some fresh air, which was definitely needed. Again, does anyone else's cat do this? Bunks likes to pretend to eat my fingers. She makes a cute little munchy noise when she does it. It's so cute, but I'm just curious on the reason was. Walking out of my place the next day for work was so scary. I actually slid down this little area where I had nothing to grab onto. If I would have fallen, I would have looked like SpongeBob, where he's passed out on the beach. Got back into some calisthenics. I know I haven't really stuck to an actual routine, or at least I don't feel like it. But in my defense, I don't like being out in the cold. You may be asking, well, why did you start exercising in the winter? I'm just a girl trying her best. Clearly never learns from her mistakes either. This was my first attempt at a frog stance. It hurt my arms more than I thought. Like my knees were rubbing into my arms, similar to like a carpet burn. Very odd. But I gave this a couple attempts, and I think my main issue was balancing, which does make sense, even though they were failed attempts. I'm glad I started, and it actually gave me the confidence to keep trying. After an entire week, Sandy and I back together again, baby. Went grocery shopping, got a few things that we needed, and then of course I had to take her out to get some sushi. Had a beer, waited for the sushi to come to us. I of course only had sushi that didn't have fish, and I had a ramen bowl. And that was the end of the month. So that was my January 2026 in an hour, or however long this video comes out to. One thing I do know is that the video isn't gonna come out exactly when I wanted it to, probably the second week of February, but you know, gotta start somewhere. Hopefully I can work on this and find a better system and have these videos come out the first week of the month, but only time will tell. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any feedback on how I can proceed and grow, comment what your suggestions are. And if you would like to see a random person's life, then subscribe. Would love to have you. Thank you everyone for watching. Even if this was a filler video where you had it on the background when you're cleaning, studying, or it just so happens to come on, I much appreciate you and thank you for letting my video play. Anyway, I hope January was good to you. I hope February is even better, and I will see you next month.